Hello and welcome. This is the Midday News. Former Assistant Commissioner of Police New Guinea Islands, Pero Drano, takes over the reins of ACP border from ACP Peter Philip today through a handover takeover ceremony. ACP Philip will take up this new post as ACP training at the Bomana Police College. Philip replaces current ACP training, John Colopen, who has moved to ACP Traffic. ACP Traffic, Nawa Wanamaro, will take over the reins from Drano as Divisional Commander NGI. Transferred members will assume command as a matter of priority, and handover takeover will be completed no later than 31st July 2024. The EU's Trade PNG program, funded by European Union, is transforming the livelihoods of cocoa, vanilla and fish farmers in Papua New Guinea's Sepik region. By enhancing production, promoting value addition and improving market access, the initiatives aim to increase farmers' income and foster sustainable development. Moses Walikin, a Ward 9 member from Blanda in North Wasera East Sepik, highlights the program's positive impact. Since its implementation in 2019, Walikin's community has received essential training and resources including comprehensive drying kits and a combination dryer for cocoa. Walikin oversees 700 farmers and 35 clusters working to extend cocoa farming and introduce vanilla cultivation. And while it has helped reduce tribal conflict and improve financial literacy, traveling back and forth to market their cash crops is risky.
Let me drag him also. Time only walk, now only load as a camel, go the road. Now only come back, only go. I'm still man best all road na still him because only road, about the road, now only looks out, some carry money, na all carry all good long plus ambient blow working money. I'm still man sabe stall road.
In a memorable celebration at the Marriott Executive Desk venue, the French Embassy in Papua New Guinea commemorated Bastille Day, marking France's National Day on July 14th. French Ambassador to Papua New Guinea, His Excellency Guillaume Lemoy, also announced his upcoming departure, marking the end of his adventure in Papua New Guinea. Reflecting on his time in the country, he expressed pride in the achievements made during his tenure and gratitude for the long bilateral relationship that has developed. The Embassy of France in Papua New Guinea states that they remain committed to fostering friendship, collaboration and solidarity between the two nations. As both countries continue to march forward, the shared values and aspirations are expected to pave the way for a bright future. To regional news, it's been 10 years since 298 people, including 38 Australians, were killed when a Russian missile-downed flight MH17. The Malaysian Airlines plane was traveling over eastern Ukraine when it was shot out of the sky. Families of the Australians killed have gathered in Canberra to remember their loved ones.
Parliament's Great Hall, a moment's silence and a promise 10 years on.
We stand with you and we will not forget those we lost.
Gathered in Canberra, the families and friends of 38 Australians who were among the 298 innocent people killed in the downing of flight MH17. Children, parents, grandparents, each with so much more life and love to give.
Jack O'Brien.
The parents of 25-year-old Jack O'Brien would never see him return home to Sydney from his adventure abroad.
In some ways it's just gone like that, and I still would like Jack to walk back in the door and tell us about his trip.
I think about him every hour, every day, and we think Jack's in our thoughts constantly.
Toowoomba doctors Jill and Roger Guard also among the passengers.
I really wish we could have had more games of Scrabble, but that's something that we'll always miss.
Flight MH17 had left Amsterdam bound for Kuala Lumpur when, over eastern Ukraine, it was shot down by a Russian missile, the wreckage spreading 50 square kilometres not a single survivor. The atrocities sparking shock around the world. From Australia, more than 500 personnel were deployed to seek answers. The Foreign Minister at the time today reflecting on her role in the response.
Confronting President Putin and demanding that Russia take some accountability for this.
For some of the families that came here today to lay flowers, they'll be missing a sense of closure. In 2020, Russia pulled out of talks with Australia and the Netherlands on the catastrophe. 2 years later, a Netherlands court found 3 men guilty of murder, but Russian authorities have refused to hand them over.
These families have never had from the Russian president and the Russian government and people the justice they deserve.
A quest for justice alongside a grief that never goes.
The sun will be shining.
Welfare advocates fear children are becoming the silent victims of Australia's domestic violence crisis. With a rise in children needing foster care, it comes after the ABC revealed Victoria is grappling with a drop in the number of foster carers, prompting an urgent call for help.
Kids who sleep here, this is much more than a bedroom. It's safety.
They just kind of relax.
Jenna Davey-Burns signed up as a foster carer after working at an Aboriginal women's legal service.
I saw our senior lawyer was really distressed, and I asked what had happened, and she said that over Christmas a number of our clients had had their children removed, and she said it wasn't their fault. They were experiencing family violence.
Since 2016, Jenna's welcomed dozens of children into her home, some for 18 months, others for 1 weekend, balancing her day job as Mayor of Kingston with respite care.
You carve out the time that you have.
But there aren't enough homes like Jenna's. The number of active carers in Victoria has dropped 5.2% over the past 5 years, while the number of kids needing care went up by 7% in the latest reporting.
We're seeing more children removed from home due to violence and abuse. In many cases, children are currently left to deal with the impacts of that violence alone. We know that there aren't enough resources put towards helping children recover.
The Department of Families, Fairness and Housing told the ABC the state government has invested more than $70 million in this year's budget to ensure immediate support and provide emergency housing for victim survivors so they can stay with their children. But research shows that's not possible for a growing number of Victorian kids.
We really need to come together to support them.
Foster accreditation is open to anyone 21 and over, including singles, same-sex couples and renters. Despite its challenges, Jenna says caring enriches her life.
Or they're running up and down the beach, squealing with joy. Those are the kind of things that, make me feel like there's hope.
Hope for a brighter future.
Scammers are increasingly targeting real estate sales by breaking into their email accounts or impersonating email addresses of businesses. While these payment redirection scams are on the rise, the amount of Australians are losing overall to scams has fallen.
Helping people with their finances, Lily has now become a victim of fraud. When she sold her apartment, her real estate agent accidentally transferred the deposit, worth $26,000, to a scammer.
I can't sleep properly. I can't eat properly. I can't have a normal life. Every minute for me is suffering.
Both Lily and her real estate agent, HT Wills, were targets of a payment redirection scam. The agent emailed Lily asking for her bank account number. She responds promptly with her ING details. But minutes later, without Lily knowing, a scammer sends an email from her account with new details from a different bank. The agent emails back to ask which one is correct. This time, they receive a third set of bank details, and instead of phoning Lily to verify them, the agent ends up paying the money into the scammer's account. HT Wills is refusing to return Lily's deposit. Its lawyers have told us that the incident is still being investigated and that they're unable to provide further comments at this time.
Australians in general are quite susceptible to these kind of attacks. The level of cyber literacy in Australia is relatively low.
In the last financial year, just under 289,000 consumers told the ACCC that they'd been scammed. That's a small drop compared to the year before. The amount they lost was $330 million. That's a 41% fall compared to the previous 12 months.
We are cautiously optimistic that the data sharing and the awareness raising that we are doing through the National Anti-Scam Centre is beginning to have an impact.
But not soon enough for victims like Lily.
In sports, PNG Hunters explosive fullback Sani Wabo is making great strides with another top-notch performance last week against the Central Queensland Capras. Wabo is ready for another challenge, this time against 7th place Sunshine Coast Falcons in round 19 of the Host Plus Cup in Brisbane on Sunday. PNG Hunters' explosive #1 Sani Wabo deceptive footwork, evasive speed and the energy he uses to mesmerize opponents is an instinct that makes him the X-factor in the team. When recapping on last week's performance, Wabo said the team has a good bond at the moment, which makes it a lot easier working together for each other. He said his takeaway for last week's game would be having more communication between the middle and the outside edges and consistent defense.
Me just look forward to involve more games for me, more continue communication clear all my rules na to play for me na me just look forward to making me involved games, putting me at every games calls half for me na me just more involvement more improvement where me looking more me no step out this area so game comes kind of me need involve more after film boys like currently now me start bound between players na this I'm very strong so I'm making me play easy 80 minutes na me just look forward this big game me play competition points later to me start close so me look forward to this game winning this game this weekend on them Falcons. So making me black at him breathing space, Lily points later.
He said the recent back-to-back wins have given them confidence and are ready to face the Falcons with the same energy and stay consistent in defense and in attack, hoping for a good outcome.
Personal goals to me, me just finish him, play grand final in the Super Cup this year 2024. Me just look forward every week, week in, week out building performance for me, involve more achieving goals for me this year.
Though he's happy with his current form, Wabo pointed out that he wants to be more involved in the attack in this weekend's match. For the first time in 19 years, the New South Wales Blues have won the State of Origin decider in Brisbane, defeating the Queensland Maroons 14 points to 4 at the Suncorp Stadium. Having won their last series decider in Brisbane in 2005, the New South Wales Blues entered enemy's territory with one set goal, and that was to rewrite history by winning the decider in Brisbane. They fought for it and won it in a brutal contest. The home side Queensland Maroons booted the first point of the night through penalty goal to take the lead heading into the half-time break. But the Blues returned in the second half to snatch the victory with tries to Bradman Best and Mitchell Moses. Here are the match highlights.
Lost the ball. However, there is foul play by Reece Walsh after the event.
Boot from Reece
so we have a decision.
So playing at the ball with a boot is illegal. Again, the hammer gets in his way. Again, it's taken by Holmes, but it obstructs. And let them know about it if he misses this after opting to take the penalty goal from right against touch. Lomax swinging it back. It's a beautiful kick. Say about the quality of this decider, which Queensland lead. Luai's in the backfield. Where's support? He's waiting for Best. He gets the ball to Bradman. Bradman Best breaks away. Bradman Best with a third origin try. And one of the great efforts. Luai, the game breaker. Bradman Best, the finisher. New South Wales, the first try of the game. It's a beauty. The siren sounds, the Shield's heading back to Sydney.
Thanks for your company. Join us at 6 for more.